One of the questions I receive periodically is about teleconverters. Most people asking want to know if they're worth the price and what the compromises are. And the real key, do the benefits outweigh those compromises? Let's talk through it and see if it's something that's right for you. Okay, what is it? In short, it's a lens for your lens. There are a few different types, but let's talk specifically today about teleconverters that go in between this and this. In my hand here, I have a Nikon 1.7X teleconverter. This takes the effective focal length of a lens and multiplies it by 1.7. So at the long end, this 70 to 200 f2.8 lens becomes 340 millimeters. And these also work for DX cameras and even on my 1 series camera when combined with the F-mount adapter. That means depending on the camera body and lens, you can be talking about massive telephoto goodness. Anyone shooting telephoto can appreciate more reach, and that's what this little guy delivers. Common teleconverter magnification factors for Nikon are 1.4x, 1.7x, and 2x, while Canon offers 1.4x and 2x. Hey, this sounds awesome! Free reach! Well, it's almost free. I have one here and I love it, but let's talk about some of the downsides. And I don't consider any of these to be a very big deal, but you can be the judge for you. Okay, first of all, you can't take this teleconverter and use it with all of your lenses. Depending upon the teleconverter and brand, you need to do some research. These teleconverters only work with certain lenses, most often lenses that are already telephoto lenses. You're not going to take a wide-angle prime and magically make this, short little telephoto lens with this thing. But this is all about taking an existing telephoto lens and delivering more reach with it. Secondly, you lose some amount of light. Generally speaking, a 1.4x loses 1 stop of light, a 1.7x loses 1.5 stops of light, and a 2x loses 2 stops of light. Now, this isn't something that you need to manage when you shoot. Your camera is going to take care of the aperture conversion. What this does mean in practical terms is once you put this in between your 70 to 200 f2.8 and your camera, it's not an f2.8 lens anymore. My widest available aperture with this 1.7x and 70 to 200 is f4.8. This loss of light is also going to slow your autofocus down just a hair. Depending on where you're shooting, that could be no problem or it could be a deal breaker. Finally, another thing that comes into play is that you're adding glass to your glass. You're magnifying the image circle produced by the original lens. If your lens is a little soft at wide apertures, it's going to appear softer with this. To get the best, sharpest quality with this combination, I like to stop down at least to f5.6 or even f8, if I have enough light, that is. Remember too that with the added reach, you'll want to increase your shutter speeds a bit to compensate for camera shake. VR helps, as would a tripod. If you're shooting handheld though, like I most often do, you want to keep this in mind. This combination here is definitely happiest if I'm at f5.6 or f8 and at least 1/500th shutter speed. Your mileage may vary depending on the lens, the teleconverter, a steady hand, and the amount of pixel peeping that you like to do. Okay, the long story made short is that you are getting additional reach from a lens that you may already have for a price that's much cheaper than buying a whole new lens. If you look at it that way, some of those minor downsides aren't really much of a big deal. By all means though, if you're a stickler for ultimate quality and you have the budget, an entirely new lens may not have some of the same compromises. I've been very happy with my teleconverter for years, and when I'm headed out into nature with the big gun here, I always pack my teleconverter in my bag. It's bolt-on extra reach when I need it. Just one last reminder, if this is something that you're going to want to shop for, double check that the one that you're looking at is compatible with the lens that you plan to use it with. Okay, do you have experiences with teleconverters? Let me know in the comments.